You ever buy a dream house and end up in a war zone you never signed up for? Because I did. I mean, picture this. My wife Lisa and I, just married, we finally make it out to Lakeview, Oregon. We buy this slice of heaven tucked behind cedar trees, private driveway, circling like something out of a fairy tale. We thought we'd found peace. Let me tell you, peace didn't even last as long as my honeymoon sunburn. You know what you never expect? That the first real threat to your home isn't a wildfire or the market tanking. No, it's a neighbor with a clipboard and a vendetta. Marilyn Hunt, president of the local HOA, self-appointed sheriff of community standards, and apparently the reason people in this town keep their curtains drawn. At first, Marilyn shows up all sugar and superiority. Lovely home. I hope you'll keep it in line with the neighborhood's high standards. She says it with a smile, but her eyes are scanning my siding, my mailbox, probably judging the length of my grass with some mental ruler. We laughed about it that night, thought it was harmless, just a quirky welcome wagon. But it didn't stop there. Her grandkids started using our driveway as a shortcut to the park. We let it slide, kids being kids, right? Then, next thing we know, the driveway's full-blown public property. Teenagers camped out, bikes blocking Lisa's car. One kid even managed to scratch the paint. I'll never forget the look on Lisa's face. Part shock, part, I'm about to lose it. We try to handle it the neighborly way. Jack, me, walking up to Marilyn's door, explaining we just want folks to respect our property. She waves it off. It's always been like this, she says. You're new. You'll learn. Learn what? How to be a doormat. I tried showing her the survey, the deed, anything. She just shakes her head. Being part of a community means compromise. That's when the rumors started. Suddenly, we're those people, anti-community, selfish, trying to block off the neighborhood. And Marilyn's grandkids, well, they started bringing their friends. 8 teenagers racing up and down the driveway, blasting music like they own the place. It felt less like home, more like the warm-up act for a demolition derby. Lisa and I had enough. We put up private property signs, thinking maybe, just maybe, it would send a message. Yeah, right? Next morning, signs are ripped down. We put them up again, they're torn down again. At this point, I'm thinking about nailing them to the trees, or maybe tattooing "no trespassing" on my forehead. One Saturday, I wake up and Marilyn's got a whole crew of neighbors standing in our driveway, clipboard waving, yelling loud enough to rattle the windows. They think they're too good for the rest of us. Blocking off the community. Illegal signs. She called our driveway a public easement. I try to stay calm, explained again, it's private, it's our deed, there's no right of way. She storms off, promising we'll see about that. And you know what? Things got worse. Teenagers started parking cars in the driveway. Marilyn starts a petition, totally baseless, demanding we reopen our property. I come home one night, can't even get in. There's a minivan blocking the drive, and some kid tells me to go around. Lisa and I had enough. We called a property lawyer. Lawyer tells us, you're in the right. Suggest cameras. Gates. At first I thought, gates? Do I really have to put up an iron fence just to live in peace? But that's what it came to. So we hired contractors, started measuring for automated gates. And the circus man, it just kept rolling. Marilyn out there, shouting at the workers, threatening to call the cops, calling us violators of HOA rules. The contractors barely blinked. Ma'am, this isn't HOA property. She starts rallying the neighbors, taking pictures, making a scene. But the real kicker, the twist, comes late one night. Security cameras catch Marilyn herself, bolt cutters in hand, snipping the wiring on the gates. I couldn't believe it. The woman who spent all year preaching rules and community values, out there in the dark, straight up committing vandalism. We called the police. Officers watched the footage, took our statements. Marilyn? She denied everything. Just inspecting the gates, she says, until they show her the video. Then she doubles down, says she's protecting community access. They charged her with vandalism and trespassing. Did she back off? Nope. That night, she's got folks in her backyard, ranting about outsiders and community spirit. The next day, she's out there again, threatening contractors with lawsuits. But by then, we had everything documented. Gates went up. Neighbors started to get tired. Some apologized, some just avoided us. Flyers appear in mailboxes. Marilyn posts pictures of our gates on Facebook. Is this what we want our neighborhood to become? But the outrage was running out of steam. At the next HOA meeting, we showed up, documents in hand. Marilyn tries to light us up, calling us selfish, saying we destroyed the neighborhood. I calmly laid out the survey, the legal docs, even showed the vandalism footage. The room went quiet. Some of her biggest supporters started muttering apologies after. For the first time, I saw Marilyn's armor crack. She wasn't used to losing. Then we got serious, called up our lawyer, Paul. We're done being bullied, Lisa said. Paul filed a civil suit for damages. Prosecutor filed criminal charges. Marilyn spun stories, said we were outsiders, tried to say the gates were dangerous for emergency vehicles. But our design had emergency access. Didn't matter. Discovery hit hard. Our lawyer found emails. Marilyn admitting to board members she knew the driveway was private. If they put up those gates, we'll lose our shortcut. I'll figure something out. That did her in. HOA started to distance themselves. Board members apologized privately, clarified we were outside HOA control, said Marilyn acted alone. Her attorney tried to settle, paid damages, no contact, we dropped the suit. We refused. Lisa said it best. If we back down now, she'll just do it to someone else. The criminal trial came. The jury watched the tape. Marilyn, bolt cutters, red-handed. Her defense fell apart. When a verdict came in, guilty on all counts, fines, community service, year of probation, it felt like breathing fresh air for the first time in months. Civil court ruled she had to pay for the gates, legal fees, damages for emotional distress. But honestly, the real win? Seeing the relief on Lisa's face, watching Marilyn get voted out of the HOA, hearing neighbors finally admit they'd been fooled. Afterwards, the neighborhood felt lighter. People smiled again. The HOA reformed, new leadership, new bylaws so nobody could ever wield power the way Marilyn did. The gates, once a symbol of all that drama, now just a normal part of the property, with Lisa's flowers climbing them, the place finally feeling like home again. You know, I used to think standing your ground was just something people said to sound tough, but there's something real in it. It's not just about iron gates and property lines. It's about knowing your rights, holding your own when you're up against someone louder, meaner, or just plain wrong. We didn't pick this fight, but we sure as hell finished it. Thing is, you never really know what people are capable of, good or bad, until push comes to shove. I learned sometimes justice doesn't look like a gavel or a courtroom. Sometimes it's a quiet night on your own porch, finally at peace, knowing you did the right thing, even if it cost you. So here's the thing I keep asking myself, and maybe you should too. Where's the line between standing up for yourself and living in harmony with your neighbors? When does defending your rights become fighting for the good of everyone? Is there ever a right time to let something go, or is it always worth it to push back? I'd love to know what you think. Drop your story in the comments. Ever had to stand your ground or deal with someone who just wouldn't quit? Where do you draw the line between keeping the peace and holding the line? Let's hear it, because stories like this, well, they don't just happen to me.